Hi, doctor. My name is Lao Yonghong. Today, I am going to present with my other pair member, Lee Xionghui. The title is Employer Perception of Sexual Harassment Affects Employer Job Satisfaction and Physiological Well-being in the Private Sector, Malaysia. Background of study. Workplace sexual harassment is a global problem that affects workers everywhere. Despite this, most of the research has been conducted in West countries. The availability of such study is lacking in development countries, especially Malaysia. Reports in Malaysian newspaper and magazine indicated, however, that male colleagues frequently harass female Malaysian employers. Sexual harassment causes problems in the workplace is one that has a direct and indirect impact on individuals and organizations alike. In addition to affecting the victim, sexual harassment can affect the entire workforce that is dealing with counterproductive hostile behavior. As a result of frequent contact between perpetrators and targets, hostile behavior are problematic.
Problem statement. Sexual harassment at work is a popular issue in Malaysia. Although research on sexual harassment has been carried out for more than 2 decades, there is still less of information to effectively prevent the sexual harassment in the workplace. When sexual harassment cannot be resolved properly, it will has a negative impact on employee in terms of attitude, health, and performance in the long run. In addition, organization still has weaknesses in the law and strategy to solve the sexual harassment that occur in organizations, causing a problem to arrest occurs in the workplace. Most employees who experience sexual harassment at work will choose remain silent and not report to any party for fear of being fired by the organization and embarrassed to become a topic discussion in the organization. What's important, this study should be conducted because we want to get the perception of Malaysia employee on sexual harassment and how sexual harassment has a great impact on job satisfaction and psychological well-being in the workplace, causing a high cost to help employees and affecting organizational profits when employee performance fall. Apart from that, the research will help to organization to provide the recommendation to improve the awareness of the strategy or regulation practice in company or country when all data and information has been analyzed. Research objectives and research question. In this study has 3 objectives. Objective 1, to identify employees' perception of sexual harassment still occurs in the private sector Malaysia, despite having carried out this study for more than 2 decades. Second objective is to identify the relationship between the sexual harassment, job satisfaction, and psychological well-being of the employees to affect the business operations. Third objective is to provide the recommendation to improve the current organization strategy, regulation, and practice in the private sector Malaysia to prevent the sexual harassment in the workplace. In this research has several research questions based on the research objectives. First is, what is the factor sexual bullying in the workplace still occurs? Second is, what type of the sexual harassment always happens at workplace? Third is, how sexual harassment affects employees in terms of job satisfaction and psychological well-being. Fourth, what is the relationship between sexual harassment, job satisfaction, and psychological well-being of employees to affect the business operation? Fifth is giving recommendation to the private sector to solve the problem of the sexual harassment, so that job satisfaction and psychological problem in the private sector can be increased. Six, giving recommendation to the private sector and the government to improve the current organization strategy, regulation, and practice in order to prevent the sexual harassment properly. Last question is how effective are this strategy, regulation, practice in reducing the incident of sexual harassment?
Underpinning theories. In general, it is accepted that sexual harassment has not single cause or theoretical framework that best explain it. Sexual harassment has been the subject of five widely accepted theories model, each attempting to explain the phenomenon from a different perspective. Sexual harassment has been the subject of widely accepted theories model, each attempting to explain the phenomena from a different perspective. These theories are organization power model of sexual harassment, particular power models of sexual harassment, raw theories of sexual harassment, gender-based attribution theories of sexual harassment. Conceptual framework. The figure above represents the social model depicting the links between enhanced workplace variable, sexual harassment prevention, job satisfaction, physiological well-being, and organization performance. Organization and job characteristics in particular draw from theories such as organization culture theory to explain the environment that supports sexually harassing behavior and the overall effects on satisfaction and physiological health. Factors recognized for employer include demographic, charities, and coping styles. A condition of which captures the diversity in the way employers experience and deal with harassment. Evidence in this framework revealed that when there is negative organization culture and weak improper policies in place, high levels of harassment is likely to occur, when in turn leads to negative impacts on job satisfaction and physiological health with corresponding implication of organizational outcomes.
Hypothesis development. In this study has several hypotheses to this research. Hypothesis 1. Most women experience sexual harassment in the private sector compared to men. Second, hypothesis 2, awareness in organization policy, strategy, and awareness has contributed to the persistence of sexual harassment in the workplace. Hypothesis 3 is sexual harassment has a negative relationship with the job satisfaction and psychological well-being of the employees. Hypothesis 4, serious sexual harassment in the organization will cause the employee to be dissatisfied to serve in the organization. Hypothesis 5, employees has a psychological problem such as a stress, emotional problem, and so on when they constantly experience sexual harassment from colleagues. Hypothesis 6, sexual harassment negatively impacts business operation and employees' performance through is a combined impact on job satisfaction and psychological well-being. Hypothesis 7 is sexual harassment in the private sector is persisted to be effectively addressed and prevented by current organization strategy, regulation, and practice. Research design. This study will use the qualitative methods to collect the data from respondents and information from the internet. The researcher will use the primary data and secondary data in this study. The researcher consider using the descriptive and causal research methods to answer the research question after collecting the data from the respondents. In addition, the researcher used the cause and effect study methods to want the reader to understand or identify the cause of the sexual harassment in the workplace and how it affects job satisfaction and the psychological well-being of the employees in the private sectors. The time horizon that will be used in the study is a cross-sectional study. Cross-sectional study. This is because the researcher will send the questionnaire to all the private sector in Sarawak and collect all data, all questionnaire at the same time. After the researcher collected all the questionnaire from the private sector in Sarawak, the researcher will organize all the data in Excel and SPSS so that it is easily to analyze the data. After that, the data has been analyzed will be used to complete the descriptive and inferential study. Population and sampling procedure. The population in this study is all full-time workers working in the private sector registered in Malaysia. The target population is full-time employees working in the private sector in Sarawak. The researcher will use the sampling methods in this study because the employee involved in the studies are more than 50 people. The sampling frame for the private sectors in Sarawak is 1384.1 thousand workers because the total number of the workers in Sarawak is 1384.1 thousand workers. 500 employees will be targeted as the sample size in this study after calculation using an online calculator. The sampling technique that will be used in is the probability sampling technique. Researcher will use the stratified random sampling to ensure diverse representation across different job role and department. Sampling unit for these studies such as employees, supervisors, managers, and so on. This is because these people will face sexual harassment by any party in the company, be it colleague, subordinate, manager, and so on. Instrument development. The researcher will conduct a literature review to identify existing validate scale and item pertinent to the concept. In this questionnaire, all items will be led by the respondent in a 5-point Likert scale ranking for 1 strongly disagree and to 5 strongly agree for consistency and easiness in answering. Application of a 5-point Likert scale aims at making sure that the item will clear and not ambiguous. At the same time, it can enhance both the reliability and validity of the response. The researcher then conducts a pilot testing of the software improvement using a small sample of the employee for the target population to detect the error in wording, format, and comprehension of the item. Next, factor analysis will be conducted by the researcher to confirm the existence of contract validity of the scale.
Data collection method. To conduct the research for employer verification of sexual harassment affects employer job satisfaction and physiological well-being in the private sector Malaysia. The researchers will use quantitative method to collect the data from respondents and information from internet to find the answers to the research problem, test the hypothesis, and deliver on a research objective. In this case, the research will use the primary method, which is questionnaires, and secondary method, which is journal or online portals and newspaper to complete the research. The research will send the questionnaire to the HR who have accepted and approve, the researcher sends the questionnaire through email or face-to-face to provide the questionnaire to each employer in private sector. In addition, the researcher needs to review the information from the journal article so that to get the idea and suitable variable to the questionnaire so that the respondent can accurate the answer to help the research to answer the objective researcher. For data collection, the research needs to spend 14 weeks for HR to distribute the questionnaire to the target employers who will be involved in this study. The research must ensure that all the respondents must be willing to participate in the study and answer permission from the employer when giving the questionnaire face-to-face. Data analysis method. After data collection, a descriptive and inferential statistic would be used to test the hypothesis or research questions. Demographic characteristics of the sample will be summarizing using descriptive statistics such as age, gender, job role, and length of employment. Furthermore, descriptive statistics will be used to show the type of sexual harassment experienced by workers, including gender harassment, unwanted sexual attention, and sexual coercion. In order to test the research hypothesis and research question, we use correlation analysis, regression analysis, ANOVA analysis of variation, and t-test. In effective correlation analysis, it is used to determine what the relation will be between sexual harassment, job satisfaction, and its impact on respondents' physiological health. This is because determining whether the correlation is strong or weak and the direction must depend on the related variable and the correlation coefficient. Multiple regression analysis will also apply to test the variable of sexual harassment on job satisfaction and physiological health outcomes. Thank you.